So on to question 6, a question about ethanol. So we need to name the substance added to sugar that causes the glucose to ferment. And that substance is, of course, yeast, the catalyst for this reaction. The temperature that's most suitable for fermentation. Now we've got to think we're using yeast, which is a living organism. So we need to work at a temperature that's optimum for its enzymes. So 0 and 10 would be too cold. The reaction just wouldn't be quick enough. At 80 degrees, the enzymes would have denatured and so it wouldn't work at all. So our optimum temperature, or the most suitable temperature, is C, 30 degrees C. Now, why do we do fermentation in the absence of air? There's actually 2 reasons for this. There's 2 explanations. The first explanation is that in the absence of air, yeast will undergo anaerobic respiration. And as a result, this produces the ethanol that we want when we ferment sugar. Ethanol is the fuel we want out of it. So that's the first explanation. The second explanation is that actually, if we introduce oxygen, we get a second reaction. So in the presence of oxygen, we get this reaction. So ethanol will actually react with oxygen, and it will produce, it will oxidize and produce the carboxylic acid, ethanoic acid. So that's 2 of the reasons why we do this process in the absence of air. Now, ethanol is a fuel. The definition of fuel is a substance that when combusted, so when we react it with oxygen, releases heat energy. And below we've got to write a chemical equation for the complete combustion of ethanol. So ethanol, as we see up here, has this molecular formula, C2H5OH, and it's combustion, so it's reaction with oxygen. Now, in terms of products, we know it's complete combustion from the question, so that means that it generates carbon dioxide and water. And now we need to think about balancing this equation. So the way to balance combustion equations is to do it in a certain order. So we balance the carbons first, followed by hydrogens, and finally the oxygens. So let's do the carbons first. On the left-hand side here, we've got 2 carbons. So we need to balance that with a 2 in front of the CO2. In terms of hydrogens, we've got on the left-hand side 5 plus 1, so 6 hydrogens. So to balance that on the right, we need 3 times 2, so 3 H2s is 6 hydrogens. And finally, we balance our oxygens. So on the right-hand side, we've got 4 here plus 3, so 7 oxygens in total. Now the area that's easy to mess up here is to forget about the oxygen, which is in ethanol. So we've already got 1 oxygen there. So that's 1 of our 7 oxygens. So we need 6 more. And to get 6 oxygen atoms out of O2, we need to put a 3 in front of it there.